and welcome to Fitness Coaching with Lois. Today we're talking about how to be a part of the 20% of goal getters. I'm your host Lois from Fitness Coaching, where we bring personal training to your home and office. Our next panel is going to be on February 25th, talking about loving yourself first. Today we're talking again about how to be part of the 20%. So we have wonderful guests today. I'm honored to have three experts in their own rights. And I want you to ask any questions that you have in the comment section. So if you want to ask us a question, we'll do our best to answer it now. If we can't, we'll check it out after we're done. So we have Valerie Lemme, and I want to make sure I get it right. So she is a whole life and healing coach. And what's wonderful about Valerie is she's endured almost 40 years of emotional and physical pain that she was led to future visioning of Ty Kane in a powerful health and happiness and success system. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming today.
Yes.
Then we have Chris Lipper, who has worked on Wall Street, patented over a dozen products, and coached countless business owners and different people that work in sales through his companies, The Alternative Board and On the Bus Sales Training, which is a relatively new company. And I'm one of Chris's business owners, I guess you could say, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then we have Cornell Thomas, who is an international speaker, multiple title author, social entrepreneur. Gosh, your list goes on and on. Corporate trainer, mindset coach, and a formal basketball coach, and player and trainer, and also runs an executive coaching program. So welcome, Cornell.
Thanks for having me.
So, according to Business Insider, we have only 80% of all businesses or goals or resolutions are failing lately. So I want your feedback to help our audience take at least something away from today in getting some tips on how to be part of the 20% of people that are actually successful. So, that freaks me out a lot a bit when you talk about the first 5 years of businesses if they fail. That's really scary. So it's scary to get out there and to start a business, but it's also scary to start a resolution. And I feel like many of us with resolutions and goals, we put it out there to the universe and we just want it to magically happen. So I think it would be awesome to talk to you guys about some questions that I have, and I'm sure many of you out there have as well. So Cornell, let's start with you.
Sure.
So can you share with us one of your goals that you set for yourself? Being a coach yourself, positivity coach. What's one of your goals?
Well, first off, I don't make resolutions. I don't.
Okay.
I feel like they're just words.
Okay.
I think words without action are just going to always remain words. So I tell people, you have to make a revolution. You have to make a drastic change in your everyday for your goals to happen. One of my big goals is to run 3 positivity summits in 2019. So I do an event called the Positivity Summit. We do them all over the world. We did New York, New Jersey, Los Angeles, next one's in Calgary. So I want to do 3, do an outreach program at the end of our Positivity Summit. So one day's self-development, one day's outreach. So that's one of my big 2019 goals.
Awesome. So if somebody wanted to be a part of that Positivity Summit, where would they go to find out about that?
My website, it's www.cornell-thomas.com.
Awesome. So Valerie, how about you? You want to share with us one of your goals?
Yes, I would. So about 2 years ago, I became aware of a way to lose weight easily and fought like the Dickens. But recently, I've clicked in and I'm using it, and we have a name for it. It's called the Effin' Truth Diet, and it deals with the emotional component and getting struggle and self-pity out of it. So right now, to date, I have lost a total of 30 pounds. And I'm on my way down to the last thank you. And for me, who was a yo-yo dieter my whole lifetime, this is a dream come true with a gratitude that I can't even express. So if anyone out there thinks that you can set, and I agree with you, I do not set resolutions ever. And I believe that when you set a goal, the like or enjoyment has to be bigger than whatever you think is the part of it you don't like in order to get it done.
Cool. How about you, Chris? You want to share with us one of your goals for this year?
Well, I think first of all, I wanted to just say that I don't expect to fail. When I set out to do something, I plan to do it. And I think the key is that I have a plan. And one of the things that I plan for 2019 is to do more of this kind of stuff. That I need to speak more and get out there more. at least once a month. So check, did it this month.
Good, awesome. So I think that you guys all have wonderful ideas as far as it coming to talking about goal setting and getting the steps in place. So Valerie, why do you think that people fail at keeping New Year's resolutions and goals?
I believe that, well, the work that I do is called, the modality, like you said, is Ty Kane's Future Visioning, and we are all about looking at the longest term goals, so that the longer your goal, the more the short-term goals fall into place. If you make a short-term goal and you don't see the bigger picture, you're going to get trapped in some of the distractions and the everyday things that come up. And I also believe that when we set goals, we also need to know, what am I gonna feel like when I get there? If you don't have the emotional reward, then you're just going to, again, not stay the course.
Yeah, that's so true. I think of goals like sandcastles. You know, you're on the beach, you set up a sandcastle with your kids, and all of a sudden, a wave comes in and crashes it down. That's life, right? And then the wave goes out, and then you build the sandcastle again, and then another wave comes in, and life crashes it down again. I feel like it's constantly setting a new goal. So I totally agree with you there.
We're gonna have to work on you moving your sandcastles back a little bit.
That's what we're thinking. I'm thinking to say,
Yeah.
move your sandcastle back.
Yeah, or
Get out of that trend, right?
or shift with the tide,
Sure.
right?
Both are possibilities,
Right.
absolutely. And take a picture, by the way.
Yeah, real quick.
Chris, how about you? So what do you think? Why do you think people fail with New Year's resolutions and goals?
So the line is that people that fail to plan to fail, kind of thing. And I think that's the case. What we do with our members is twice a year we'll have them cookbook their goals, and we'll establish behavioral goals. And
I love the name cookbooking.
I can't take credit for it. I don't know where it came from, but it's not mine. But it is a practice that works. So if you want to increase your business $100,000, let's say, this year, and you have ongoing revenue, so that you're not starting at zero every year, and your average sale is $10,000, we know you need 10 sales, let's say 12 to get there. We'll cookbook behavioral goals getting you there, and then we have board meetings and other things where there's accountability, where every month someone can say, I did it, I didn't do it, and that helps.
That's great. So it's like a recipe.
It's a formula.
Yeah, it's a recipe for making
It's
it.
a formula.
Formula, yeah. So whether it's a formula, my word, a recipe, because I like to eat.
Right.
So you put the ingredients in and it actually works out.
Or the steps, yes.
Cornell,
Cellophane.
how about you? What are your thoughts there when it comes to goal setting and why people fail?
Well, I do mindset coaching, I do executive coaching, and Chris said one thing that I love is he doesn't plan to fail, right? Now that's a part of the self-discipline that's inside of him. I think self-discipline is a real big reason why people fail. It's also your inner circle and your accountability partners. I have people around me that will check me immediately in terms of if I'm not doing what I'm saying I'm doing, they'll say, okay, well, I thought this is what you were going for. So if you're trying to lose 30 pounds and you're at Krispy Kreme every day, if you have someone that's not saying, well, Val, I thought you were trying to lose 30, and be real with you, then you're going to keep going to Krispy Kreme, right? So I think it's the self-discipline, which I had as a basketball player, I had to be self-disciplined. And I think accountability, having people around you that are going to keep you to task, hold you to task. And that's one of the things I love that you do, Chris, is that you hold people to task, which is great.
Yeah, I find that with me too. You know, I have a personal trainer. Everybody said, Lois, you own a fitness company. Why do you need a personal trainer? I need to be accountable to somebody outside of myself. Why do I need a business coach? Same thing. I need to have somebody outside of myself to be accountable to. That is not, you know, my husband is wonderful, my children are wonderful, but it's kind of, you want to be almost with a person that's not to say going to embarrass you, but that's going to hold you to task.
Sure.
I agree completely.
I need one, I wish I had that. But I hold everyone accountable, there's no one holding me accountable. But anyway.
Yeah. So if you want to have, no, I'm just kidding. you have to be, would have to be a really strong personality, I think, to take that on. Chris,
Yes.
how do you get people started?
Well, first we go through the process of establishing what the behavioral goals are.
Okay.
So, and I need their buy-in, that they're really gonna do it, that they're SMART goals, they're strategic, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and trackable.
Okay, say that again a little slower.
I don't know
so
if I
that
can do it
anybody
slower.
who wants to write it down.
I'll try to do it slower.
Strategic.
Strategic, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and trackable.
So SMART is an acronym for those of you that don't know that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and if I can get their buy-in on that they really want to do it and that it's possible, and we've broken it down into, chunks of a day, maybe it's making one more phone call a day or asking for one more referral a week or whatever it might be, and they start seeing it works, then they're on their way. The problem is that sometimes good is the enemy of great, and people are happy just being good enough, and they stop once they're getting the success. I gotta keep their foot on the gas throughout the year, not just the first quarter.
Yeah, so when things start to get good and happy and business is going well or the goal is happening.
And their foot comes off the gas
Yeah.
and they stop doing what got them there.
Yeah.
So that's part of the accountability of the whole thing, keeping a goal for the year. Just chunks.
Constantly adjusting.
Chunks, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Valerie, how about you? What are your thoughts on that one?
I take people into their future to see their awesome, successful future self that has already accomplished the goal. Then that becomes their mentor. Because you were talking about accountability. Isn't it amazing that you have an inner part of you that can also be accountable? Also, I teach people how to take the struggle out of maintaining and attaining your goals and making it an easeful, graceful process. So things get done a lot quicker, and you have more energy for many other goals for success because that one's working so well.
I think the ease of it is really important.
Absolutely.
Thinking that it's not so hard and that you don't have to constantly learn these lessons, that life is supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be moving forward.
That's what I teach people.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. How about you, Cornell?
It's the same as Chris and Val. It's not recreating the wheel, right? As coaches, it's like we would love to come up with some crazy new theory. It's already been done and said. It's figuring out where you want to go, how serious you are about that, and then reverse engineering to where you are now. Okay, how do we get there? Right? And what Chris said is like, are you serious about this goal? Because I'm not wasting any of my time, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. So I might not be the right fit for you as a coach. You might need to go to somewhere else. I'm the kind of person where I want to keep your foot on the gas. I think that when people start getting successful, we call them basketball, say we're getting fat. We're getting fat off our wins. So we win 3 games in a row, now we're not practicing as hard.
Right.
Now we're kind of like, okay, cool, we did it. And then you get punched in the mouth, and now you have to start from square one. So it's just, where do you want to go, how serious you are about it, what's the sweat equity you're willing to put into it, then we're going to reverse engineer from there.
I like that. Reverse engineering.
Not mine at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I use it. I think we all use it. So it's
Yeah,
a
we use
great
it.
term.
We
though,
use it
right?
too. We use
Well,
it too.
it
Yeah.
works for you because it's like going to the future and then looking back, right? And what got you there, kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I don't think if you're forward thinking and you're only thinking about your failures of the past, there's never steps to move forward.
Move the sandcastle.
Move the sand. Yeah. Or move the walls around your staircase. I had a session with Valerie where I was working on my own challenges and moving my invisible walls, and you look up and you see this wall sitting in front of you and it's so big. And then I put casters on the bottom of the wall and moved the wall out of my way so my staircase was there. And if you can constantly find where that new staircase is going and what the steps are, I think that you're golden. I use SMART goals too. I have my own version of it that it's basically a checklist, but within that checklist it's a whole bunch of questions that you really get detailed and get to know yourself and find out what you want and how to work backwards. I agree with you guys completely there. So if you would like that, you can just click on the link. I'm going to put it in the comment section. You can check out the download for that SMART Goals worksheet. Cornell. So, we think about all of this setting ourselves up for success, but how do we get on it? All the things in our life that make us distracted, how do you stay the course?
Priority list. For me, our priority list, written and in here.
Okay.
What's the most important thing that I need to get done? Now, on a daily basis, that's going to change, right? Sometimes people are like, oh, you can have work-life balance. But there's going to be times where I'm going to have to go and speak, and I'm not going to be with my kids and my family for 2 days. right? Work-life balance says, oh, well, you know, bring your kids with you. That's not happening right now. They're 5 and 3. So my priority list is, it's always my family first, but there'll be some days where work's gonna take precedent. But in terms of my work life, okay, what do I have to get done immediately? What do I have to get done after that? Like, what's the primary thing? Then I go from there. I think a lot of times you put the nonsense in front of the primary, and then it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. So my whole thing are priority list. Like, what's the most important? Like right now, our Positivity Summit is in April, but I have an executive coaching program that we're gonna launch in 2 weeks. So I have to focus on that first, then I'm gonna get to the Positivity Summit when I get past that.
That's great. How about you, Valerie?
Well, for me, the overarching principle that I love to practice, and when I don't, I'm in trouble, is that the purpose of life is to have fun. And it has to be fun. And I bet you if you look at it, even when you set your priority and you have to leave your family, and I know that is not what you want to do, still, you go there and you give it your all and you get something amazing out of it. Something that really, like the juice of life, the happiness of life. So I believe that when we're overarchingly looking at things, having fun should be like top notch.
That's great. I love that too. How about you, Chris? How do you keep people staying the course?
Fear is a great motivator. It works for me, you know, and sometimes future fear, you know, of how something might feel, but also future joy is a good one on how something might feel. It depends also who I'm dealing with and what their personality types are.
Yeah, but he gets motivated a little differently.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you have to know your audience.
I just want to say that's such a great point. A lot of times people coach and they generalize who the person is. That's the worst thing that you can do.
Right.
Some people use that fear and turn into fuel. Some people take that fear and they feed a love. So it's just like, who are you coaching? Coaching is removing the person out of their own way. That's what 95% of the coaching is to me. It's just taking the person and saying, okay, get out your way. Let's clear this path. And then you're going to do it again because you're human. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to give that over and over again until you can remove it yourself out your way.
Right. And the best motivator for me and people like me is telling me I can't do something. And it's like, watch out.
Hold my
But
beer.
that doesn't work for everyone.
And I think also knowing what kind of personality you are and,
Right.
and being able to know where your strengths and weaknesses are and taking accountability for the weaknesses and the strengths, because we all have strengths.
Sure.
And looking at those and figuring out what they are and continuing to work on the strengths, but also working on the weaknesses too. With flexibility, I love talking to people. Oh, you always have one good side, and people crack up because they do. You always have one good side. So, but bringing the not so good side up to meet it makes better balance. One of my friends, Mara, she owns Stretch Source. She talks about evenness and having that balance and putting it together. So having that evenness is very important in no matter what we do. Great. So some rapid fire questions. These are always fun because it kind of gets us to know you guys even a little bit more better. More better? No.
It works.
Doesn't make sense.
Go with it.
Better?
It's out there.
Better?
Go. Move on.
More, just more.
More.
There you go.
You have a question? Just louder. Okay,
Louder.
we need to talk louder. Okay, so how many days a week, Valerie, do you exercise, and what's your favorite form of exercise?
Oh gosh, okay. This week is not my normal, but usually at least 6 days a week. I jog and I do hot yoga, and I love doing it. I love doing it even when I don't want to do it. That's weird, I know, but that's the truth. And I always feel better afterwards. So as much as possible, I felt a little guilty because I wasn't doing it this week just because of circumstances and really like that were pressing that I had to take care of. And a client of mine who is into exercise just said, sometimes you need to take a break for your muscles to actually really integrate, and as long as you just get back before 6 weeks, you don't lose muscle memory, so you're just resting. I went, thank you for the reframe, that was really cool. And today, when I leave here, I'm going running.
Good, awesome. How about you, Cornell? What's your favorite thing to do for exercise?
Favorite? Well, the most, I train probably 7 days a week, and it's not 7 days of like grueling training. I feel like you should always do something. Even if it's something small, you do 5 push-ups, whatever. My major training is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been doing it for 12 years. Hands of Gracie, Denville, and I do CrossFit as well, like a couple of days a week,
Great.
and then a little bit of yoga. But Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is what I do primarily.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
It's
Looks
a lot
like,
of fun.
it looks like something that would be fun to try.
Yeah.
How about you, Chris?
So I'm the weak link here on this. I need a ball to chase or a puck to chase or something to get me to go do something. So playing hockey is a big one for me. And this time of year, I don't play enough. This time, as we get older, we're playing more roller hockey, which is outdoors, and it's tough this time of year. I go bike riding a lot, but not this time of year. So I'm a slacker this time of year. When I'm lucky enough, you'll come by and we do yoga, and which is great when I do it, but I don't do it enough. Is that fair?
Very fair, very fair. You know, I feel like just being honest and being approachable. You know, everybody that's watching is not necessarily working out every day. They're not necessarily feeling good about themselves. So finding the times of the year when it does work is, I think, helpful. And then finding alternatives. Maybe doing an extra day of yoga or.
Can we ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What do you do to hold your people accountable?
Well, simply we come to you. So we take the accountability part of it and we turn it up a couple of notches because our clients don't have to go anywhere. They literally just have to get dressed and open their front door.
So they can't wimp out.
No.
Yeah, that would be hard. Favorite thing to do to de-stress? Chris, why don't you start with that one?
Music, without a doubt.
Music.
If I can see music 2-3 times a week, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, that's great. How about you, Valerie?
I love just sitting on the couch with my wonderful husband and doing nothing. That is a wonderful way to just recharge, your jet and your engine, or for me. So yeah.
Yeah, my husband and I are big Netflix binge watchers when we have the time
Right,
to just sit and watch. We're in
Yeah.
the middle of Ozark right now.
It's great.
Amazing,
Great.
amazing. A plug for Ozark. It doesn't need it.
Yeah.
How about you, Cornell? What do you do
It's
to de-stress?
physical jiu-jitsu, like that for me that's active meditation. So people think meditation is sitting down and just, no, it's active meditation to me because I'm not thinking about anything else. Because if I am, my arm's gonna get broken or I'm gonna get choked out or something. So that's a de-stress. Anything that where my mind isn't on what's the stress is meditation for me. Like that's what I do. So jiu-jitsu or having a great conversation with someone, helping people.
It's so true.
Yeah.
That's a really great point for everybody. How about healthy recipe? Chris, why don't you start with that one? Or if you don't like to cook, your favorite restaurant.
I do cook. So I'm a vegan,
Yep.
but I'm a bad vegan. So it's all about the animals for me. So if there's no animal product in it, I'll probably eat it, which could include Oreos, which is bad. My favorite restaurant, hands down, is Veggie Heaven, and the one in Denville. It's terrific.
Yeah, I like it there too.
I'll be there tonight.
Yeah, great. How about you, Valerie?
So the Tell the Effin' Truth diet, there is no restriction on any food, so Oreos are included, and so is Krispy Kremes, as long as you do not overeat. So it's just a matter of just eating what you love and enjoying the food, chewing consciously, and stopping way before you're full, and the pounds just start to drop off.
I think that's powerful because when people are eating what they want to eat versus eating what they think they have to eat, it becomes fun and it's not hard and it's easy.
But broccoli can be fun.
Broccoli can be fun, especially
I
when
like broccoli.
when you put a little olive oil and garlic.
There you
and
go, you
saute
see?
it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Some hot pepper in there. Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Cornell?
No recipe for me at all. I'm not a good cook.
What do you like to eat?
I like to eat a lot of things, a lot of food, like Italian, Thai food. I mean, everything. I would say what Val was just saying in terms of moderation, that is the key. Just everything in moderation. Like I was in California this past weekend, and I don't punish myself for eating something that isn't on the super healthy list.
Absolutely.
I don't make myself feel guilty. Like when you're kids, when your parents say don't do something, you want to do it more.
Yep.
So when someone's saying don't eat that, you're like, man, screw this. I'm just gonna eat this, and So I think moderation and just being smart about your choices.
Absolutely. And my last two questions, I'm going to put them together. Sleep. How much sleep do you get? And water. I give everybody water today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You starting here?
Yeah.
I'm good with both. I get the right amount of sleep for me, and I certainly drink a lot of water, especially when I'm seeing music, about 80 ounces in a night, something like that.
Wow.
So I have a 40-ounce thermos I carry.
So you fill it up.
Yeah, twice.
Oh, great. How about you, Valerie?
Well, I love to be hydrated. I think that's really important just for my well-being and not for any other reason. So I do drink water or other, I also love Zevia, stevia sweetened soda, which I will drink throughout the day too. So those are my two beverages. And as far as sleep, I can go anywhere from about 4 to 5 to all the way up to 7 hours, and I can function and be fine. So it varies and it fluctuates depending on my schedule and what I need to do.
I think that the more active you are during the day, the more sleep you need anyway. So
That could be, yeah.
yeah, so it fluctuates. How about you?
The weak link here for sure. In terms of sleep, it just depends. My mom used to work 3 jobs, so she'd up 4.5, 4. So when I was in California, I had 14 meetings in 2.5 days. So I probably got, maybe 4 each night, but when I get up, I'm up.
Yeah.
Like there's no, drag myself out of bed because I'm doing what I love to do. So I'm not dragged to say, oh my gosh, I have to sit in the cubicle, because for me, it's not what I would want to do. For me, I'm getting up, I'm talking to people, making connections with people. So when I'm up, it really doesn't matter. Water-wise, I drink water throughout the day. I would love to get to my man Chris's 80 ounces. That's the goal, so to start doing that, drinking more water, but I drink it throughout the day.
Awesome. So if you'd like to learn more about Cornell, Thomas, or Valerie Lemme, or Chris Lipper, you can message us and we can send you more details about it. I'm also going to put their links in the comment section of their website, so you can check out their websites if you have more questions or want to learn more about them. And if you want to hear more about that free guide that I offered, I'll put that in the comments section. And again, thank you, the 3 of you, so much for coming on today. And thank you so much out there for watching. And check us out again in February 25th for our next one. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.